Hello, and welcome to Conservation Skills in 10 Minutes or Less. This series of short, skill-based videos is brought to you by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's National Conservation Training Center in Shepherdstown, West Virginia. If you have a couple of minutes, pull up a chair and pick up a new conservation skill or maybe refresh an old one on topics ranging from fish culture to bird identification to stream restoration. Enjoy. Hello. My name is Matthew Patterson, and I'm a course leader at the National Conservation Training Center, and I'm going to lead you through the skill exercise today. So what is the lesson for today? Today we're focusing on calculating exchange rate. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, what is exchange rate? Much like density index and flow index, which we have calculated in previous videos, exchange rate is attempting to assess the carrying capacity of a raceway. If you're interested in density index and flow index calculations, go back and watch those videos. In terms of exchange rate, it's the number of times the complete water volume of a rearing unit is exchanged per unit time. You've probably heard something similar to this, like the rate of turnover. Now, if the water in a raceway is not exchanged on a timely basis, growth, survival, and the general health of the fish can suffer. Anybody that's raised goldfish knows if you don't change the water, you can have a problem. So how do I calculate exchange rate? Now, typically, you would use a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet to calculate exchange rate. But we want you to know how to calculate exchange rate by hand, so that if your spreadsheet spits out something that doesn't make sense, you can make corrections accordingly. So here's the formula for calculating exchange rate by hand. Exchange rate equals flow in gallons per hour, notice the hour here, divided by the volume of the rearing unit in gallons. So like we've done with density index and flow index, we'll first have a skill demonstration where I'll show you how to do the calculation, and then you'll have a chance to practice. So here's our skill demonstration. The Dreamland Fish Hatchery is holding coho salmon in a raceway that is 15 feet long and 3 feet wide, with an average depth of 2 feet. The raceway is receiving 15 gallons per minute of natural spring water. Now the calculation for exchange rate is a 4-step calculation. The first is we have to determine the volume of the rearing unit in cubic feet, convert the volume from cubic feet to gallons, then convert flow rate from gallons per minute to gallons per hour, and then we can calculate the exchange rate. So the first step is to calculate the volume of the rearing unit. And we've done this before in the density index. And that was length times width times average depth. In our case, our raceway was 15 feet long, 3 feet wide, with an average depth of 2 feet. If you plug those into the calculator, you'll get a volume of 90 cubic feet. Now we need to convert the cubic feet volume into gallons. The conversion for that is cubic feet times 7.48 gallons per cubic foot. So we had 90 cubic feet times the 7.48 gallons per cubic foot, and that gives us 673.2 gallons. Next, we need to convert flow in gallons per minute to gallons per hour, and that's simply multiplying gallons per minute times 60 minutes per hour. Our flow rate was 15 gallons per minute times 60 minutes per hour, and that gives us 900 gallons per hour. The last step is to calculate the exchange rate. We now have the flow in gallons per hour and the volume in gallons. So it's 900 gallons per hour divided by 673.2 gallons, and that gives us an exchange rate of 1.3 exchanges per hour. So as we promised, now it's your turn. It's time for the skill practice. I would recommend after I read through the skill practice that you pause the video and try and work out the problem. And then when you come back, will provide the answers. So at the Land of Milk and Honey Hatchery, you're holding spring Chinook salmon in a raceway that is receiving 100 gallons per minute of well water. The raceway is 60 feet long and 5 feet wide with an average depth of 4 feet. What is the exchange rate? So go ahead and pause it here, and when you come back, we'll work through the answers with you. Okay, welcome back. First, you should have calculated the volume of the rearing unit. It was 60 feet long, 5 feet wide, and 4 feet in average depth. If you plug those into your calculators, you should have gotten 1,200 cubic feet. The next step was to convert the volume in cubic feet into gallons. So we had 1,200 cubic feet. We multiply that by 7.48 gallons per cubic foot, and you get 8,976 gallons. The third step is to convert gallons per minute into gallons per hour. We had 100 gallons per minute multiplied by 60 minutes per hour. That gives us a flow of 6,000 gallons per hour. The final step is to calculate exchange rate, which is flow in gallons per hour divided by the volume in gallons. We calculated we had 6,000 gallons per hour and a volume of 8,976 gallons. That gives us an exchange rate of 0.67 exchanges per hour. So now we know how to calculate exchange rate. But so what? What is a good exchange rate? Well, the general standard for linear raceways is to have a minimum of 1 exchange per hour. In other words, we want our exchange rate greater than or equal to 1.0. Now in the skill practice, you calculated that the Land of Milk and Honey Hatchery had an exchange rate of 0.67 exchanges per hour. That's less than 1. So what do we do? Well, in density index, we were able to split the fish. Can't really do that with exchange rate. You can split the fish and give them more space, and they will probably do better, but it's not going to affect the exchange rate. The only thing we can do to improve the exchange rate is to turn up the water. An exchange rate is helpful, but it's only one measure of carrying capacity. As we mentioned, we had density index and flow index in our previous videos. And there is one critical factor that the exchange rate does not take into consideration. I wonder if anybody can figure out what that is. That's right, it's the fish. You have flow rate and volume, but you have no specifics about the fish. So if you want to include fish in your equation, you're going to have to switch to density index or flow index. If you want to learn more about exchange rate, density index, or flow index, you might want to sign up for NCTC's cold water fish culture course. And if you hold on, at the end of this video, I'll walk you through how to find that course on our website and to get more information. So thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about exchange rate or any other skill in cold water fish culture, or any questions about courses at the National Conservation Training Center, you can reach me at the email and phone number listed here. Thanks for joining us. Okay, as promised, I was going to show you how to find cold water fish culture on our website. The best thing to do is just go to Google and type in National Conservation Training Center. Hit enter. Typically the first search that comes up. Open our website and then go to the search bar here and type in cold water fish culture. Hit search. The first PDF that comes up will take you to this PDF with more information about the course, including course description, course objectives, target audience, and then down at the bottom you see what course is coming up next. Thanks again for joining us for Conservation Skills in 10 minutes or less. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like or hit the subscribe button, share this video with a friend, or even check out one of the many other skill-based videos we have in this series. Have a great day, And always remember, the beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you.